We had the Detroit Pistons in the Bay Area where the weather is getting crazy against the best home team in the NBA, in the Warriors, and it was a wild one. The Pistons coming off a 30-point loss to the Portland Trailblazers in Portland, so we knew they were gonna be more ready for this game, because when a team like this gets blown out, they are gonna be better the next game, and they were certainly much better this game, and they controlled the game for a lot of it. They were just better during the first 3 quarters. Even though they were slightly better, they were heading into the fourth quarter with just a 3-point lead, shooting 50% from the field, and Bojan Bogdanovic was absolutely killing us. He had 24 points through the first 3 quarters and was just incredible. And in that fourth quarter, it was back and forth and back and forth. The Warriors took their first lead in a while on a Clay dunk with 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go, but the Pistons instantly responded with a 7-0 run themselves. The Warriors had to chase them down again. Killer Clay was up for the challenge though, and the tough buckets were exchanged, tough buckets were made, and the Warriors were still hanging in there thanks to mostly Clay. And after the Pistons took a 5-point lead in that fourth quarter on a Saddiq Bey 3-pointer after an offensive rebound from Isaiah Stewart, Draymond and Isaiah Stewart got into it as Isaiah Stewart grabbed Draymond's jersey on the box out. Draymond then grabbed his bag, and it was a double technical. Draymond got ejected, and I feel like, you shouldn't eject him. You just don't give any of these guys stacks in this situation, especially with Draymond getting ejected, but it happened, and it's fair, but, as a Warriors fan, it feels, of course, I feel wrong, but at the same time I get it. So a rough one for me there and the Warriors. But the Warriors have that fighting spirit in them, and they kept fighting. Clay made a layup with 40 seconds to go. It was a 1-point game, and the Warriors get a stop. And then the Poole turnover happens, and the Poole turnover issues have been talked about. I've talked about them. They have been pretty much everywhere if you are a Warriors fan, and the turnover finally cost them, right? And it was bound to happen since it happened in the third straight game in a row, and it was once again in a crucial spot. He just gets to ahead of himself. It feels like he goes too fast for himself even, and he just lost the ball. Alec Burks made a good play also, shout out to him, but yeah, Jordan Poole just has to be better. We had to foul, and Killian Hayes knocks both free throws down. He had 9 points and 13 assists on the night. But Killer Clay still responded, man. Killer Clay with his 17 point in that fourth quarter ties the game with a 3-pointer. 30 on the night. Great game from Clay, especially that fourth quarter. But then the heartbreak came as, 5-second violation, anyone? It was at least 7 seconds, man, and I was mad at it, but hey, they don't call it that much, so I get it. Saddiq Bey hits the turnaround 3-pointer to win the game for the Pistons, and the Pistons beat the Warriors twice in this year, which is crazy, but hey, it happens. Warriors win streak ends at a 5, and unfortunately, as I said, it was bound to happen. Those Jordan Poole turnovers are just killers, man, and he needs to be better, and it was talked about post-game. Kerr said, he of course also makes clutch buckets, which is very true, and he has been pretty clutch overall, but you just can't turn the ball over 3 times in a row in this spot, and it's not, it's just who you are at this point, right? And he needs to just be better, but is it who he is forever? I mean, decision makers don't usually get that better, right? If you're not a great decision maker overall in the clutch, so we'll see, and Clay also said he's clutch, and that's why he passed the ball to him, so he'll bounce back. I believe in JP, and he'll bounce back and learn from it. Hopefully this was finally third time the charm, and it wakes him up. The Pistons had 6 players in double digits. You had 29 points for Bojan Bogdanovic, 18 and 11 for Jalen Duren, 13 for Isaiah Stewart, and the clutch ejection on Draymond, 12 for Ivy, but he was not impressive at all, and he has not been that impressive, especially lately. And 15 for good old Warriors friend Alec Burks off the bench, and 17 for Saddiq Bey on 17 shots, and the game winner, of course. Warriors two-way guys were open, 17 for Anthony Lamb, 18 for Ty Jerome. Kevin Looney had 15 boards once again, Clay with 30 points, JP with 24 and 5 and 6. But the turnover just is overshadowing that, and it's a rough loss for the Warriors.